Okay, this is Charcuterie Michelle the Shark. Oh my god. This is her upper jaw. That's her lower jaw. That's her teeth. That's her ampulla of Lorenzini. This right here is her eye. That's her spiracle. Her nostrils are right here. And then this is her snout. This is her first dorsal fin. Down here is the second dorsal fin. These are the pectoral fins. Down here too. These are the pelvic fins. She has no anal fins, and this is a caudal fin. And her lateral line is right across here.
Here's the snout of the shark. Here's the nostrils. They're located on the ventral side of the rostrum, anterior to the jaws. Water comes in and out through the ink current and external openings controlled by a nasal flap. Spiracles are located posterior and dorsal to the eyes. Water is taken in through these spiracles and goes into the mouth, where it leaves through the gill slits. Jaws are made of flexible cartilage that are capable of detaching from the skull, and powerful muscles are attached to the jaw that allow them to exert high biting force. The mouth is located on the underside, or the ventral side of the shark. The teeth are sharp and pointy, and there are several rows of these teeth, as they fall out frequently. These are used for catching and eating prey. Sharks have 5 gill slits, located on the sides of the mouth. Water is taken in through the mouth in spiracles, leaving then through the gill slits. The eye is very similar to that of a human. They have a transparent cornea that protects the eye, a darkly pigmented iris below the cornea, and that contains the pupil. The lower eyelid contains the nictitating membrane that protects the cornea by covering the surface of the eye. The ampullae of Lorenzini are a collection of black-looking pores located on the rostrum around the eyes, snout, and nostrils. They have the ability to sense electric fields through the gel contained within them. The pectoral fin helps with locomotion and provides the lift that sharks require to stay afloat. The pelvic fin helps with stability and is located on both sides of the cloacal aperture. The dorsal fins help with stability. There are 2 dorsal fins on the shark, the anterior dorsal fin, which is slightly larger, and the posterior dorsal fin. Then there's the caudal fin, which helps with locomotion and is divided into 2 lobes, a large dorsal lobe and a small ventral lobe. Then there's the lateral line, a light-colored horizontal line along the sides of the shark, made up of tiny pores that lead to receptors that are able to detect changes in water pressure in the surrounding water due to movement. As you can see, there are no elongated claspers in the shark, which means it's a girl, as only boys have them. Sharks don't have swim bladders unlike other fish, so in addition to its usual functions of helping digest food, sharks' livers also control buoyancy. The livers are huge, up to 30% of its body mass, and they are oil-filled. The gallbladder has 3 lobes, functioning in storage of bile and flotation as well. The shark's stomach contains 3 important structures. The first is the mucosa, the stomach's inner lining, and then the rugae, are folds that churn and mix food with digestive juices. The pyloric sphincter is the third. It's found at the far end of the stomach and controls passage of partially digested food to the intestines. Sharks can have very short intestines, yet still get all the nutrient absorption they need through a structure called the spiral valve. It's a screw-like structure inside the valvular intestine. It aids sharks in significant nutrient absorption because it provides more surface area for digestion and absorption to the short intestine. Without this, the duodenum, which connects the stomach to the intestine, the valvular intestine, wouldn't be enough to get all the nutrient absorption needed.
This is the shark's esophagus, which goes up in here to the J-shaped stomach, connecting over here to the intestines.
The spleen's primary function is to store red and white blood cells. The pancreas secretes digestive enzymes and provides a passage for the enzymes to the duodenum.
The pancreas, which is this part laying right here, secretes digestive enzymes and creates a passage for the enzymes to the duodenum. And the spleen stores red and white blood cells, which is this dark part right here.
Sharks have gill slits, 5 of them in fact, and they are located on the sides behind the mouth. Water is taken in through the mouth in spiracles, then leaves through the gill slits. They also contain gill pouches, cavities that lead to the outside through the gill slits. Then there are the gill rakers, small finger-like structures that act as a strainer to stop food particles from leaving the pharynx through the gill slits. Lastly are the brachial bars, which are simply partitions in between the gill pouches.
In here you can see that each gill is in its own individual pouch.
The heart is located in the pericardial cavity, which is the upper portion of the body cavity. The heart has a 2-lobed atrium and a muscular ventricle. The atrium collects the blood and pumps it into the ventricle. The ventricle pumps the blood to the gills and then to the rest of the body. This is the mouth, and inside of it is the tongue, which is basically immovable and has no muscles. Our shark is a pregnant female, so we have 2 cream-colored ovaries dorsal to the liver. They function in the storage of eggs. The oviducts are elongated tube-like structures lying alongside the kidneys. That eventually forms into an enlarged uterus, which we found developed in unborn shark pups. Sharks' brains have 3 sections, the first being the forebrain. This section of the brain contains olfactory bulbs, which can detect smells from the nose and send it to the brain, as well as the thalamus, which is the section of the brain that detects sensory input through touch, taste, and hearing. Lastly, it holds the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, which helps keep the body stable. Secondly is the midbrain, which controls the shark's vision. It has 2 important bulging optic lobes, which are the analyzer of visuals from the eyes, that also have other functions related to memory, as well as control of behavior. Lastly is the hindbrain, which specializes in hearing, touch, and electroreception. It holds the cerebellum, which is at the back of the skull, and its function is to regulate muscular activity. The hindbrain also consists of the medulla oblongata, which is the continuation of the spinal cord within the skull, and contains the control center for the heart and lungs.